Have you ever felt stuck in life? Waking up every day, doing the same thing over and over, knowing deep down that it might never change? What if I told you there was a man who lives that exact feeling forever? He wakes, he walks, he pushes, and the moment he thinks he's free, it all comes crashing down. And then he begins again. No prison bars, no chains, just the same task, the same hopeless effort, for all of eternity. This is not just a myth, it's a mirror. And the name of the man inside it is Sisyphus. Long ago, in the early days of Greek myth, there lived a mortal king named Sisyphus, ruler of the city of Ephyra, which we now call Corinth. But Sisyphus was no ordinary king. He was clever, too clever. In a world ruled by gods who demanded obedience and worship, Sisyphus dared to outthink them. He lied without blinking, tricked death itself, and manipulated even the divine for his own gain. He was not physically powerful. He did not have magic or weapons. What he had was his mind, and that would be both his greatest strength and the reason for his eternal curse. The first time he caught the gods' attention, it was for something most mortals wouldn't dare attempt. Zeus, the king of the gods, had abducted a river nymph, an act common in Greek myth where the gods often took what they wanted. But Sisyphus saw it happen, and he didn't stay silent. He told the nymph's father, the river god Sisyphus, exactly what Zeus had done and where he could find him, but not for free. Sisyphus demanded a payment, a new spring of fresh water for his city, and Sisyphus agreed. Just like that, a mortal had blackmailed a god. The punishment from Olympus was immediate. Zeus sent Thanatos, the personification of death, to bring Sisyphus to the underworld. But Thanatos never returned, because once again, Sisyphus had a plan. He welcomed a guest, calm, hospitable. And then when Thanatos let his guard down, Sisyphus trapped him. In chains forged for the divine, death was captured. And while he remained chained in the mortal world, no one could die. Soldiers struck down in war screamed in agony but did not fall. The sick grew weaker but never passed. Old age kept marching forward but without rest. The world became unnatural. The gods, especially Hades, lord of the dead, were furious. Without death, the balance of life collapsed. Eventually, the war god Ares intervened. He stormed Sisyphus's palace, freed Thanatos and restored the natural order. This time, there would be no escape. Thanatos dragged Sisyphus down to the underworld, shackled and condemned. But even now, even in the depths of death, Sisyphus was still thinking, still scheming. Before his death, Sisyphus had given his wife, Merope, a strange command. When I die, he said, do not bury me, do not perform the rites, leave my body exposed, unhonored. It was part of his plan. In the underworld, he approached Persephone, the queen of the dead. He spoke softly, sorrowfully. My wife has insulted me, he said. She left my body to rot. I have no coin for the ferryman, no proper funeral. Please allow me to return for just a short while. Let me punish her. I promise I will return. Persephone, moved by what she thought was grief, allowed it. And Sisyphus walked back into the sunlight. He saw the sky again, felt the wind, breathed the mortal air, and he laughed. He had done it again. Sisyphus did not return. Days passed, then months, then years. He lived as though death had never come, mocking the gods, avoiding justice. But in myth, the gods always get their revenge. Zeus had had enough, no more leniency, no more clever escapes. This time, Sisyphus died for real. There was no bargaining, no tricks, no return. But his punishment would be unlike anything the gods had given before. It would not be fire, not torment, not dismemberment. It would be repetition. Sisyphus was placed at the base of a massive hill in the underworld. At his feet lay a boulder, smooth, enormous, heavy beyond measure. He was given a task: push the boulder to the top of the hill. That's it. No guards, no chains, just the promise. Reach the summit and you'll be free. So he began. He gripped the rock with calloused hands and heaved. He planted his feet in the dirt and leaned into the stone. It moved slowly. Every inch was a struggle. The hill was steep, the ground unstable. But he made progress. Hours passed, days. His muscles ached, his breath grew shallow, but the top of the hill was near. Just a few more steps and then it slipped. The boulder tumbled from his grasp, crashing down the hill with terrible force. Every inch he'd climbed, gone. Sisyphus stood in silence. Then he turned and walked back down, and he began again and again and again forever. That was his curse. The gods did not torture him with pain. They tortured him with hope. Each time he thought, maybe this time I'll make it. Each time he failed. The punishment of Sisyphus was not about fire or blood. It was about futility, meaninglessness, the horror of endless effort that leads nowhere. He is the man who never gives up and never succeeds. But that's not where the story ends, because centuries later, a philosopher named Albert Camus looked at the myth of Sisyphus and saw something else. He saw not a broken man, but a defiant one. He imagined Sisyphus at the bottom of the hill, wiping sweat from his brow, turning to face the rock one more time, and smiling. Because even though the gods gave him a task designed to break his spirit, Sisyphus never surrendered. He still pushes, still climbs, still hopes. And in that act of rebellion, in that refusal to be defeated, Camus saw a strange kind of freedom. Because sometimes, life itself feels like that hill. We work, we try, we fail, we start over. But like Sisyphus, we keep going. And maybe that's the message hidden in this myth, that even in a meaningless task, we can choose meaning. Even when life feels like a cycle of effort and loss, we can choose to rise. Not because we'll win, but because we choose not to stop. And in that choice lies something divine. So the next time life knocks you down, when the boulder slips and all your work feels wasted, remember Sisyphus and push again.